Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 8B. In continuation to the previous video, wherein in example number 8A, we were discussing on the natives, professional prospects till Rahu Dasa, Mercury Bhukti. So I was explaining about the history behind this person, and so now we have to discuss in the remaining period of the Rahu Dasa after the Mercury Bhukti. So I mean, he was in that Mercury Bhukti, he got a change of job, and as a commission-based job, he was working that. After that, what happened? That we had to check in Rahu Dasa Ketu Bhukti. We will check now. Example 8B. In this video, we are going to study on this example number 8, job in abroad and loss of job. So, we are going to study in this video that native got job in abroad, and also he got the loss of job also. Again, he got some job, and he moved to abroad also. So, job in abroad we are going to study, and also jobless period also we are going to study in this. So if you look at the periods, I have given the periods I was telling about up to Mercury Bhukti we studied there. Up to Mercury Bhukti, Venus Antra, he got the change of job. After that, he got the new change of job in Rahu Dasa Ketu Bhukti Ketu Antra. Decent job in abroad, in Nigeria. Then after that, he moved to Dubai in the Rahu Dasa Venus Bhukti and in Sun Antra or Moon Antra, because in between he got the job in Sun and moved in Moon. So he got the job in February 2009 in Nigeria. Then approximately about 1.5 years he was there in Nigeria. Then he moved to Dubai. Then after some period, about 6-7 months, he got the loss of job. The job which is in Dubai, then he lost the job. After that, he was there for 1 year without any job in India. Then after that, he got a new job in Mumbai with a notable, stable job. And he is still there in the same company in which he joined in May 2012. And from the same company, only he still, as on 2023 end, he is still there in the same company. He started in that job in 2012 in May in Mumbai. And after that, the same company sent him to Singapore, starting a branch there, and made him to take care of that what do you call Singapore office. And he's like a head. He's moved there for the particular marketing department. And in June 2016, he moved there with a notable progress in abroad in Rahu Dasa, Mars Bhukti, and Moon Antra. So I will explain in each period and the Dasa Bhukti periods also. So just you can note it down these periods for your study. And each event I will be explaining the period also in the discussion. So now let us examine the Dasa periods for the native's experience, what he had from the Rahu Dasa Ketu Bhukti. This is the birth chart of that native. So now we are going to study Rahu Dasa Ketu Bhukti. Up to Mercury we have studied. Now we have to study what Ketu Bhukti is going to give. So look at the Rahu Dasa. In Rahu Dasa, in the star of Ketu and 12 level is Mars and sublord is Venus, it is indicating some challenges, changes that we already discussed. In Rahu Dasa, when Ketu started, what would have happened? Look at the Ketu. So let me open that birth chart also. And North Indian chart. Look at the Ketu planet. Ketu is occupying 10th house, and second planet is Saturn, and aspected by the Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn. So Rasi Lord Saturn itself is aspected to it, is good. And Mars is aspecting Ketu in this nakshatra of Mars itself, 1, 8, 4, and 9. This is supportive for some change of job, right? It is indicating some change of job during this period, supportive. But please understand, and when I was talking about that Mercury Bugdi, Ketu Antra is not supportive for change of job because it is not strongly favorable. I was telling that. But when Ketu under the Mercury, I'm telling, and when Ketu Bugdi itself is support, it is ruling. It is we have to see whether it is supportive for some change of job on what basis. That star level planet is 189. It is supportive for some change. Also, it is supportive for ninth house. What is ninth house? Mars is conjoined with the Jupiter. Jupiter also aspecting to it. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is 9 and 12 significator, and Mars is ninth sublord, Lagna Lord, eighth Lord, but still Lagna Lord and ninth sublord aspect conjoined with the Jupiter, and Mars is also conjoined with the Rahu. Mars is conjoined with the Saturn. Saturn is a good key planet, and importantly, Mars is getting the support of the Jupiter. And Mars is in the star of Ketu, also favorable. 1, 8, 4, 9, and Jupiter 9 and 12 significations are supportive. Then you can see that sublord is Mercury. Sublord is Mercury 3, 6, 1, 8, 12, and 6, 11, and 12. Though this has been given green, red color for the profession, but look at this grouping 3, 6, 1, 6, and 12, and star level is 1, 9, and 9 and 12. So the 10th meters are going to experience star level 1, 9, 12 level is supportive for job, and sublord is 3, 6, 8, 12, 6, 11, and 12. You can see this one also, Mercury also is an exchange with the Venus is favorable and 159 supportive for some changes. But these changes are what they are indicating. That Ragu Dasa, star lord is Ketu's, 2A level is Mars, that is acting as the planet and star level, supported by the 3, 6, 12 grouping. It is supportive for the job possibilities in abroad. So in during that Ketu Dasa, Ketu Bugdi, that supported for the job in abroad. So in Ketu Dasa, in Ragu Dasa, Ketu Bugdi and Ketu Antra itself, he got the new job in abroad in Nigeria in February 2009. I have given in the previous slide itself. He moved to Nigeria for the job. So this is supportive for the job prospects in abroad, not in India because of this grouping. So in Ketu, he moved. So Ketu was running is good, and up to Ketu is doing some decent job prospect, though it is not very good because Ragu Dasa itself is having some weakness, and Bugdi also having some weakness, and that Mercury is connected to Venus already. So that way the weakness also there already. So now after that Ketu, Ragu Dasa, Ketu Bugdi over, that native was running Venus Bugdi. Look at Venus Bugdi. How is Venus Bugdi? Venus is fine. Let me clear this one. Yes. Venus is mixed one with a favorable and also some weakness, 5, 9, 5, 8. It is also supportive for some change, and Venus is conjoined, sign exchange with the Mercury, that we have to keep it in mind. Venus is the planet that Dasa Lords, one of the important key planet, Venus itself is playing role. So there is a connection between Ragu Dasa and Venus Bugdi directly by the sublord Venus itself. So definitely when Ragu Venus are going to play Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, when they are playing, definitely the native will face some sort of trouble that we are able to see. Now in Venus Bugdi, then he got some more, because of this 5, 9, 5, 9, 8, and then he wanted to, to support for some changes. He was looking for some change of job while he was working in Nigeria itself in Venus Bugdi. Then he was looking for a change of job. Then he got some job in the Sun period because Sun is the planet representing Rahu. It is 2 levels ruling, and that is also as a 5 and 1 significator. So it is supportive for some change. And Sun sublevel is Rahu. Rahu is the supportive key planet, good key planet. So that way it is also supportive. So he is looking for change of job. He got some change of job during that Sun period. In Venus Bugdi, Sun Antra. How come Sun can be favorable for change of job? Sun on its own, I said it is not so bad, right? But Sun planet is 5 and 1, but Sun planet is conjoined with which planet? Sun planet is conjoined with the Mercury, right? And in the sign of Venus. So Venus is the Bugdi Lord. So Venus is having some mixed change causing planet, and Mercury also is indicating some trouble causing planet and favorable also. So during that Venus, Sun was playing. Sun is for fifth house is supportive to the Venus unfavorable. Because of that, and Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Sun Antra got the native change of job. Please understand, Sun under all the Bugdis, all Antras will not give change of job. Sun is under the influence of the Venus, and Venus itself is the ruling the Bugdi Lord, and that Venus itself is the that key planet of the Dasa Lord. Because of that, during that Sun Antra, the native got the change of job. So in Sun, he got the change of job, and he moved to from Nigeria, he moved to Dubai. In Venus Bugdi, in Sun Antra, he got the job and moved and joined the job in the Moon Antra. So because he has to give some notice period, and he moved there. And Moon also in the sign of Sun only, sorry, Venus only, you can see. Moon also in the sign of Venus only, conjoined with the Mercury and Sun. That moon also aspected by Saturn, that and all we discussed. That moon in the star of Sun, that Sun also conjoined with that, and sublord is Ketu supportive. So, and Ketu in the star of Mars is supportive for travel, the change, because abroad travel is to be required. So, from abroad to other country, he traveled. You can see the Mars planet is present here. Mars is aspecting to Ketu, forming ruler link, and Mars is in the sign of Sun, so that Mars is forming ruler link to the Ketu also, ruler link to the Sun also, because Mars is in the sign of Sun only. So this is 189 significator, and Sun is also conjoined with Mercury and Venus. So the role of the unfavorable key planet or mixed key planet are there in supports. In addition to that, one of the other unfavorable, when it is playing role, that impact will be significant. So during that Venus Bugdi, Sun Antra, he got the new job and moved to the other country in Moon Antra. So that way, Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, he got the changes. When he joined the job in Moon, Mars Antra was running. So how is Mars Antra? Mars is indicating some changes in the source planet, and Mars is in the star of Ketu, sub of Saturn is a very good key planet. So definitely it is supportive for the Lagna, for travel also we can see it. It will support for, change of place, travel, it can support. We have 189 sublord, and Mars is conjoined with the Jupiter. All these things we discussed. Sublord is Saturn, is very good key planet. Saturn also forming rudal link to Ketu and also Mars. So this planet is supportive for the native. Though he is in Dubai, he is supportive for his travels here and there and for the on the job prospects. Up to Mars, there is no issue. But when the Rahu started, it means Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, and Rahu Antra was running. Rahu, Venus, Rahu. When it is running Rahu, Venus, Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, after Mars, Rahu Antra was running. Rahu itself is having the Venus. So Rahu, Venus, Rahu, when it is going to run, definitely that will give trouble to the Lagna on the job prospects. It will cause change or loss of job. Why? Venus role is strongly playing role. In addition to that, Mercury role is also going to be there. So that we need to be very careful that unfavorable K planet Venus is there in the Ragu Dasa. In Bugdi itself is Venus, and Antara Lord also Ragu when it is playing. Ragu is talking about good, star level is favorable, 10th house in the sub of Venus. 10 is going to experience this 189 and this 5958, supported by Mercury in supports. This will give trouble to the Lagna on the job. That I think you are able to understand. So during that Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi Rahu Antra on May 2021. So in May 2021 means in Mercury Sukshma. It is going to be there only about 15-20 days time. Then Mercury, then Ketu, then comes that Venus. All are having Mercury role is there. Ketu having Mercury role, and Venus itself is going to come as the Sukshma. So during that period, Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Ragu Antra, and Mercury Sukshma, 6th house is experiencing this one and supported by 12. Because Ragu has given the green signal for loss of job. So during that it means combined impact of the Dasa, Bugdi, Antra, and Sukshma. Leave Sukshma also, that leave Sukshma is going to finally execute that. But Antras would favor for that. So in Dasa Lord Ragu, Bugdi Lord Venus, and the Antra Lord is Ragu itself, when the role of Venus is strongly influencing for change, supported by the Mercury by sign exchange, 8 and 12 strongly present, and 10th house is going to experience this. So that one, it is going to cause trouble. So the Salar's unfavorable K planet is playing role in the Bugdi Lord, and also in Antara Lord, and also in Sukshma, that Mercury, 6th ruler, Mercury is already in sign exchange with the Venus. That the star level is again Sun planet, and Sun is conjoined with the Mercury in the sign of Venus. So when unfavorable K planet is playing role as the one of the ruler in the Dasa Lord, their unfavorable impact will be significantly playing role in the other planets. When the unfavorable K planet itself is playing as the one of the ruler, especially the star level or sub level, that planet, when it is acting as one of the ruler for the Bugdi Lord, the impact is going to be high. Suppose that unfavorable key planet is not playing role as the ruler for the Bugdi Lord, the impact will be comparatively lesser, because the Bugdi Lord is not having the unfavorable key planet is the ruler. But the unfavorable key planet of the Dasa Lord, if it is influencing the Bugdi Lord by way of support, the influence will be there. Suppose that unfavorable key planet of the planets, the unfavorable key planet, it's not playing role as the ruler for the Dasa Lord, the impact of the unfavorable will not be that much. That we have to keep it in mind, right? So that way that you can see Ragu Dasa and compare Ragu Dasa and Mars Dasa. Mars is actually young age, so we cannot say that. And Ragu Dasa and Jupiter Dasa. Jupiter is not having the role of Venus or Mercury. It is there, Jupiter only, it is not unfavorable strongly. 2A level only, Mars, it is talking about supportive for travel. That's all. It is also supportive for some change, but sublord is not favoring for the change. Jupiter is free from Venus and Mercury roll directly. So that way Jupiter will be better than the Rahu. That you have to keep it in mind. Okay, now in Ragu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Rahu Antra, and Mercury Sukshma, he got the loss of job, as I said, right? So when this grouping is strongly present, Ragu Dasa and Venus Bugdi. So when he already lost the job in the Ragu Antra itself, it's very difficult for the native to get a new job. I mean, within that Ragu Antra in other Sukshma. because Rahu is not very good. It needs Rahu Dasa Venus Bugdi in a better antra only, which is free from the role of unfavorable key planets. When that period only, it can get the new job, right? One more thing also I would like to tell you. Look at the Rahu Dasa, Rahu Bugdi. Sorry, Rahu Antra, Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi. You take both. Look at Venus role, only Kaspar Lordship in occupying house, if you take as per our fourfold significator, or as per KP, if you take Kaspar Lordship in occupying house, 272, Rahu, fourth occupant, and representing Saturn, fifth lord occupying Lagna, it is only second, right? And sublord is again fourth occupant, and star lord of the sublord is 10th occupant. You can see 4, 10, 4, 10, only indirectly 5. But 272 and 4, 10, 4, 10 are indicating favorable to the Lagna for the professional prospect. It is not indicating any change of job. And here, similarly, here look at the Rahu. Rahu occupying 4th house. Star Lord is Ketu occupying 10th house. And Rahu influenced by Sun and Jupiter, Mars, all are fine. But look at the signification. Rahu 4, 10, sublord is 2, 7, 2, and 4. So with this help of the fourfold significator or KP significator, we will not be able to understand, identify that that native would have lost the job during Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Rahu Antra. Because it is indicating favorable significations for the professional prospects, because they are not taking the CST significations and CSL significations of these two planets, and also their sign exchange impact and ruler slip impact they are not taking. Because of that only, it will not be strong enough to get the correct interpretation of the Dasa periods and their predictions. Okay, let me come to the point. So now on Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Rahu Antra, he got the loss of job. After that, Rahu Antra, under the Venus Bugdi, he was running Jupiter Bugdi. Jupiter is having some weakness, and Jupiter, we have to see the planet which are not having that unfavorable key planets of the that Bugdi Lord. So what is that Bugdi Lord? Venus, and Antra Lord is, Dasa Lord is Mars and Venus are playing. Their role should not be there, and favorable key planet should be there. Ketu is fine and sublord is Rahu is fine, but you can see Jupiter is having itself is playing 9 and 12, and 12 level is also 4, 8, 9 is present, and indirectly that Venus role and Mercury role are influencing. So that Jupiter is not strong enough to get a new job. So by getting a new job in, it should be having favorable significator and without influence of the unfavorable, right? So now Venus Bugdi, Jupiter Antra did not favor for the new job because of the weakness, and Saturn started. Saturn is not having any unfavorable Jupiter or Mars, or importantly, Venus is not playing, Mercury is not playing, and having got favorable grouping, right? So definitely Saturn will give the job. You can see here also Saturn is 10th lord, 11th lord occupying 5th house, and star lord Sun is 5th lord occupying Lagna, 511, 511, 511. And if you look at the group signification of the Saturn fourfold significator or KP significator, it will take 5, 1, 5, and then only 10 and 11. So 10 and 11 also there, and 5 and 1 is also there. We will not be able to identify whether it is going to be strong or weak or moderate. But it is very good because of these significations, that strength and also supports we already discussed. So because just alone 5, you cannot say it is unfavorable. Only grouping is important, that we already discussed. So under the Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi and Saturn Antra, he got the new job in Mumbai. You can see Saturn, Rahu is mixed. Venus is comparatively better because star level all planets are good. Because under this Venus, Sun did not give change of job, Moon did not give, Mars did not give. Only Rahu only gave, because Rahu residing factor Venus itself is weak. So during that period, he got the loss of job, and in Saturn Antra, he got the new job. It is notable job, he got it. So in Mumbai. After that, in Venus and Saturn and Mercury was running. Mercury is having some weakness at the source, favorable also, and connection to the Venus. When 12 level, everything is fine. Sublord also, it is having some mixed signification, but it is not indicating any loss of job, because role of Venus is not straight away present, and also because that these 3, 6, 1, 5, 1 all favorable only, with indirectly influenced by the Venus. You would have faced some sort of challenges during this period, but it is not indicating any loss of job. So during the Ragu Dasa, Venus booked the Saturn, he got a notable job. After that, he got Mercury also, there's no change of job, he was running. So after Venus over, Ragu Dasa, Sun is very good. It was very good for his professional prospects. Moon is also good. Everything is fine. So then there was no change of job after he joined the job in Ragu Dasa, and Venus Bukti and Saturn Antra, he got the job. After Venus, Sun was fine, Moon was fine, and Mars, that is the problem. Mars is talking about 189, star level is Ketu, 12 level is again. Saturn is very good. Saturn also forming ruler link to the Mars because it is conjoined with this. All are fine only. But Mars is also one of the ruler in the Dasa Lord, right? Dasa Lords. We can see what is the signification of Mars. Already we discussed about Mars under Ketu. During Ketu only, he traveled abroad for job, right? Here in Mars is coming 184 and 9 sublord, conjoined with the 9 and 12 Jupiter, star level Ketu, aspected by Mars, and again Saturn also supportive, 12 level again Mars, sub-level Saturn. So these are all supportive for some good changes, right? So during Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, he got the offer in the same company. He was advised to, or suggested to go abroad to Singapore to take care of their new Singapore branch on the marketing. So in Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, Mars is the key planet in the Dasa Lord for the travel, and already supported by Jupiter and other planets. That Mars itself is playing and forming rural link to the other levels, and supported by the Saturn at the sublord for the notable job. So that way in Ragu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, he traveled abroad. In which period he traveled abroad? In Ragu Dasa, Mars Bugdi in Moonantra. He traveled abroad in, as I said, no, in Venus. No, I mean, yeah, in Venus, Moon, he traveled to Dubai. No, there's some change. Similarly, the Moon is the Karaka planet for travel also. That Moon also is posted in the sign of Venus, right? And conjoined with the Sun, and Mars is also playing role here. Mars is influencing Sun because Mars is in the sign of Sun, so forming ruler link. So that way the role of Mars is also playing, Jupiter also playing role. So in Mars book, the Moon Antra, he moved, transferred from his Indian office to Singapore. He got the change of position with a good status, because 110 grouping is very good for the notable job. That way that Ketu Saturn is playing, that is the Dasa Lord star level planet is Ketu Saturn, and that itself is playing role. 1 and 10 is very good, and sublord Saturn itself is very good, forming ruler link. It's very good. So in Rahu Dasa, Mars book the Moon Antra, he moved to Singapore. Please here again note, if you look at the Mars period, 184, only Kaspar Lordship and occupying, only if you take. Lagna Lord, 8th Lord occupying 4th house, Ketu occupying 10th house, and sublord is 10, 11, and 5. Star Lord of the sublord 5 and 1. If you take only these houses, 184, 10, 11, and 5, and without taking the CST and CSL, without the taking the influence of the support planet. Mars is Lagna Lord, conjoined with the Jupiter. Jupiter is 9th Lord and 12th Lord, right? And Mars is in the star of Ketu, Ketu representing Saturn, then Saturn also conjoined with the Mars, favorable planet for the job prospects. And Saturn is actually we need the role of what do you call third house. Which is the third lord? Third lord of planet is which planet? Third lord, sixth lord is Mercury. Mercury is also 12th sublord. So Mercury role is also important. Where is Mercury? We know that Mercury is well connected to the Sun and Moon, because Sun and Moon are conjoined with Mercury and also Venus. So that way, that Mars planet in the star of Ketu, sublord is Saturn. Saturn is aspecting to these planets also. Ketu represented by Saturn, aspecting to that Mercury, Moon, and Sun, and Saturn's Rasi Lord. Sun also conjoined with Mercury. So the influence of this, Mercury is indirectly present, and Mars also 9th sublord. And you can see that Sun planet is also conjoined with the Mercury. So that Mars planet is supportive for the change and travel also, because that is also 9th sublord. So the support planets, all these things, if you do not take it, the favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord, that Rahu is 3 and 11 cuspal star lord. That role is also there because Mars is conjoined with the Rahu. Mars is conjoined with the 9 and 12 sublord. Sorry, 9 and 12 Lord Jupiter. Unless and otherwise you take the impact of the key planets by way of supports, and also CST, CSL, if you do not take it, we cannot say that during Rahu Dasa, Mars Buddhi, the travel Lagna will, the native will travel abroad. Because 184 is not good, 8 and 4 is not good. There is no 3 or 9 or 12 houses are signified by CLOCC houses. You understand? Then in that Mars, how come Moon? Moon is 4th lord, but conjoined with the 3rd lord, Mercury, right? That Mercury is the key planet, and Sun, star lord. Sun is also conjoined with the Mercury. So because of that, in Moon is strong enough to make the native to travel abroad. So that way it is having the key planet of that Moon, Mars also playing at the last level and influencing other levels by way of supports. So that way the ruler's link also formed. So the native is traveled abroad during the Mars Buddhi and Moon Antra. Otherwise, if you do not take those, key planets technique, or if you do not take that CST, CHL, and also support planets, will not be able to say this native would have traveled abroad for job in Ragu Dasa, Mars Buddhi, Moon Antra. I think you are able to understand, right? So if I will make it very in short, that which are the favorable key planets for traveling abroad? I explain with the help of the PILT table. That also will be useful. In the PILT table, how these favorable key planets for travel abroad, they are all supportive for the native, right? Let me take you to the PILT. Let me choose the EPS colors. You see, I have not changed the event to abroad travel. You would have changed the event, then would have given some other colors also. Still, the help of the self-signification study, we can find the favorable key planets. Though Mercury is pink shade, for the abroad travel, this is going to be green, right? Pink is good, sorry, Mercury is good, and Jupiter is good, and you see that Rahu is good. The 5th house, though it is not 3 or 9, but 5th house is supportive to the 3rd house, right? 3rd house to the 3rd house, and Lagna also favorable for the Lagna's activity in travel also. Rahu represents 3 and 11, so Sun is good, and Venus is indirectly supported because of 3rd sublord and 159. It is mixed significator, but strong favorable key planet is what? Mars, 9th sublord, Lagna Lord or 9th sublord, and Jupiter, and that Saturn also supported because of the 5th occupant. 1 and 7 cuspal sublord is good for travel abroad also. It is supportive for the Lagnas being in abroad. So, and Mercury, important planet is Mercury straight away, and Jupiter. I'm selecting only those planets in the selecting panel so that we can find the influence of this. So that Mars, all these pink shaded planets are indicating favorable significations for travel abroad. If you look at that one in Rahu Dasa, Mars is having Mars 12 level is also Mars and forming ruler link. Jupiter is there, Jupiter is there, Jupiter. Mars is the favorable key planet in the Dasa lot. And look at the moon planet. Moon is having Mercury, Mars, Rahu. All the planets are there in the supports of this moon. And last level itself is Mars is forming ruler link to all levels. You can see all planets, all levels are having the moon, Mars in the supports also. In addition to that, other key planets also playing role. As I was saying, Sun is fifth lord, occupying Lagna and representing Rahu. I was telling Rahu also, I was telling, no, if you choose Rahu also as a favorable key planet, you can see Rahu also joining hands with that. So that way we can easily find that how these planets, key planets impact on the Dasa Bhuktī periods for a particular event. So I think you are able to understand this one. So we have studied up to the Ragu Dasa, Mars Bhuktī, Moon Antra, the native gone abroad for the job. So after Rahu Dasa Mars is over, obviously Jupiter Dasa started. Jupiter Dasa is started. That Jupiter, if you look at Jupiter star level good, sub level good, and we already discussed about the 10th sublord. It is supportive for the native, for the job prospects in abroad. Star level is good and sub level also very good. And star lord of the sublord is good. And Jupiter is forming ruler link to all the levels planets. And importantly, absence of Venus and Mercury. See, even if you check the same planet repeated, if you check the, because Venus is free planet, Mercury also free planet, let us check the sub-sublord of the Jupiter. Jupiter sub-sublord is, just a minute, Jupiter sub-sublord is Sun only. It is not Venus or Mercury. That way, that Dasa Lord, Jupiter is going to be a very good Dasa. It is not indicating any loss of job or a change of job frequently. It is supportive. Definitely, that also will support for change of job only during that supportive Bhuktī. So Jupiter, it's very good. And now that native is running Jupiter Dasa and Saturn Bhuktī over and Mercury Bhuktī over. Now he's running Ketu Bhuktī. So there is no change of job as of now he is running. Because of this up and downs, Mercury role and Ketu role, he is facing some sort of challenges, but there is no change of job as far as the job is concerned. So better than Rahu, Jupiter is very good. His career is going to be very good in abroad. But we have to keep it in mind, as already discussed, Jupiter is influenced by the other unfavorable key planets, and role of Venus and Mercury, they are not directly playing, but they are all influencing this planet by way of support. That we have to keep it in mind. So whenever the Bhuktīs which are having this unfavorable important key planet, Venus and Mercury are combinedly playing, then we need to be very careful that we have to check it. So I think you are able to understand. So now in the next video, in the example number 8C, I will be explaining on the natives business prospects. When he intended, for doing a own business along with the job, what sort of experience he had, that we will experience in the next video. Good luck.